saw an empty chair beside Derek and walked over. "This seat taken?" he asked in a vaguely Gulf Coast accented baritone. Again, Derek had to restrain his leg muscles from propelling him up out of the chair. "Oh, no, sir." The lieutenant gave a lazy smile as he eased himself down. "Hey, relax, candidate. I'm not here to dick you over." Derek really did relax. The lieutenant's smile had that effect. He even found himself able to look past the rank insignia at individual details. The lieutenant's name tag read Renard. He wore pilot's wings on his left breast above a row and a half of ribbons. Derek grew painfully aware that he wore only the red and yellow ribbon of the National Defense Medal, the Walk and Talk ribbon. Normally, those golden wings would have inspired an awe that transcended even their wearer's exalted, to an NAOC anyway, rank, but Derek found himself looking beyond even that and wondering why he did. Granted, the lieutenant was tall, well-built, and handsome in a dark, swashbuckling way, but there was something beyond looks, something hard to define. It probably had to do with that smile. But for whatever reason, the lieutenant oozed a quality that drew every eye in a room as surely as though by magnetism or gravity. Maybe it was what people meant when they spoke of charisma. Lieutenant Renard had evidently been studying him as well. "You must be just back from Tyndall." He indicated the 4 tiny gold bars above Derek's name tag. "Congratulations." This guy had been through Pensacola. That much would have been clear even without the evidence of his pilot's wings. He knew Derek had completed land survival training at Tyndall Air Force Base north of Panama City and thereby cleared the last real hurdle before commissioning. He also knew what the 4 little gold bars meant. Derek was of above-average candidate officer rank in his last week in NAOCS, just barely below the godlike level of the Marine drill instructors in the terrorized eyes of the poopies, as the new arrivals in the Hell of Indoctrination Battalion were called. Thank you, sir. Yes, but..." Military propriety struggled with the urge to blurt out the confidences that this man seemed to invite. "Yes, only that is..." "Only you're here instead and missing your chance to dump on the poopies like you got dumped on," the lieutenant finished for him sympathetically. "Yes, sir, and also missing the chance to graduate with my class." There. He'd said it. He wasn't sure this hotshot would understand. He wasn't sure he understood it himself. Sergeant McManus is a sadistic, semi-literate redneck, he thought savagely. So why does it mean so much to me to be able to march out of that hall with Class 2214 wearing ensign shoulder boards and have him standing there at the foot of the steps and take my first ever salute from him? But the lieutenant did understand. "Well, ain't that a shit sandwich? You'll have to get commissioned with a later class. You must have been ordered here like me." Derek emerged from his self-pity into an embarrassed awareness that he might, just possibly, not be the only one here against his will. "Yes, sir. I wasn't told anything about it. Does the lieutenant know?" "Lighten up. You're not at Pensacola." The same inhibitions-dissolving smile flashed. No, sir, I'm not." Derek swallowed before pronouncing the forbidden pronoun. "Do you know what's going on here?" "Haven't a clue. I was aboard Reagan off Rosie Roads for an operational readiness exercise when I got my orders. Even the skipper of my squadron, that's VF-98, said he didn't know what it was all about. And I believe him. He was ricocheting off the walls at losing one of his pilots just before an opera decks." Derek's jaw dropped. VF-98 was one of the first squadrons to have gotten the new advanced 2-seat fighter just arriving in the fleet to replace the obsolescent FA-18F. "So you fly the F-39, sir?" he asked in awe. "Yep. Is that what you want to pilot?" Derek's ardor slumped a little. Actually, sir,